I'm back again, and you know already, finally, we get to preview another game. It is the CONCACAF Champions League round of 16, first leg, Toronto FC versus Independiente at Club Atletico Independiente La Herrera. And Toronto's going to Panama to face this club in the first leg at Estadio Agustin Sanchez something. Point being that they're going to Panama. A round of 16 matchup. First, we'll talk about Independiente, and then we'll get into TFC. First, Independiente is a Panamanian club in their Apertura and Clausura. They're in their Apertura season right now. In their first 4 games, they have 10 points out of their first 4 games. Two of those games were a 1-goal victory. The other game was a 2-goal victory, a man down, and then the other game was a draw. Then they got 20 points in 18 games in the Clausura season. Right, no, Apertura, Clausura. Apertura first, Clausura second. In the Apertura season, first half, 20 points in 18 games. Which basically means they're not that good of a team. None of the players on Independiente were on the Panamanian World Cup squad. This club is not that good of a club. Not good, not really good, not the best, not the greatest, but they are second in the table right now, but it's only their 4th game of this part of the season. They may have some form right now, but honestly, I really don't think they're going to do much. They may have a good first leg at home, but I still think Toronto's going to win that match. And then when they come to BMO, it's going to be so cold. And honestly, they're not that good of a team, and BMO's probably going to just beat them by the fortress, by the atmosphere at BMO. So, honestly, this tie, we're probably going to win, even without a Pozzello or a Vargas or a Gignac. We'll probably pull this one off. Speaking of Pozzello and transfers into Toronto, Alejandro Pozzello, it sounds like Genk and Toronto have made an agreement. March 18th is the date, or sounds like it will be the date, that Alejandro Pozzello comes to Toronto and becomes the 3rd DP. Which means if we're still in CONCACAF, we'll have a chance better to win it because Pozzello is here. But it would be here for the 3rd and 4th rounds. So we have to get through the first 2. Which I think we could do. Because Toluca is an okay team. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. But then again, we said that about Chivas, and look what happened. And then Kansas City. I mean, we drew them with not as good players. So we should be getting to the semifinals. We should be fine. With Pozzello coming the 18th before the Belgian playoffs. The rest of the regular season for him, but before their playoffs. And even then, we may get him earlier because it sounds like the overarching tone in the Belgian media for Genk and Pozzello is, when is he going to leave? The more they get pressure put on him, the quicker he comes to Toronto. So, the quicker he gets to TFC, you see, we may be better off. The quicker he gets here, the better off we are. So, this club has a pretty good chance. Now, there is also a rumor that Toronto FC had went to Monterrey to watch a Tigres and Monterrey to try to get a player from one of those teams. Like Funes Mori, Vargas, or Gignac. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. Probably won't, because if they get him now, they probably are cup tied, because they're going to play in the first CONCACAF game. I don't know how cup ties work in CONCACAF, but I'm sure if you play with a team, at least in one game, you're cup tied. So, somebody can come back at me on that. But So basically, when we go into CONCACAF, we're going to have our squad that we have now until Pozzello gets here. I honestly think we have a pretty good squad. Especially against the Panamanian team, and there are some things about this squad that people seem to forget. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. It's not all doom and gloom like people are acting. We'll be fine. TFC has a lot of healthy players coming back. And just saying, this team, I think they can make it far enough to where Pozzello could push him to the cup. And who knows, maybe even he'll come earlier for the second round, depending on how Genk just gets tired. I think they're starting to get tired of the narrative. And the fans are. And they're just like, you know what, whatever, fine, take him. You want him so bad, take him. That's probably what's happening. Because at first it was like July or June. Now it's March. Now we could get him before the second round. Before MLS even starts. And if we do get him in the middle of the March, he only missed 2 games. And he missed the first 2 rounds of CONCACAF. And I think we could get to the semifinals with the group we have right now. We don't need him just yet. Especially right now. We don't need him just yet. But we need him. The earlier the better. The sooner the better. But we don't need him just yet. It's when we get to the Atlantas, the Monterreys, the Santoses, and the Tigreses that we're going to need Pozzello. And during the league, that's when we're going to need him. Because the more we stomp the yard, the better playoff place we get. The better playoff place we get, we can get our shield back and everything like that. Trust me, they know what they're doing. And I feel like Pozzello, maybe he'll here a little bit earlier than March 18th. He may even be here for the second round, but we don't need him till the third round of CONCACAF, I feel. In 2 games, we'll be fine. 2 games, misses 2 games, he'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine if he misses 2 games. We'll be fine. This team is good enough to get us through this round, obviously, and the second round. I don't think Toluca has that much of a better squad than us right now. And Kansas City, with all those injuries back in July, when I was there, we drew them. We drew Kansas City. And at BMO, we should beat them. So honestly, if we get Kansas City or Toluca, I feel like we can make it through the second round. If I'm being honest. We just need to get Pozzello for the third round and on. I think we got this. I legitimately think the way Toronto has worked this out, we have this. We just can't screw it up. Toronto FC's coming off their preseason. Independiente has some form, but honestly, I really don't think their form is going to beat us. So, my 11 for this match would be Alex Bono in goal. It's going to be a 3-5-2 because that seems like what Vanny's going with is a 3-5-2. At the back, Chris Mavinga, Drew Moore, and Laurent Simon. Middle 5, Justin Morrow, Marky Delgado, Michael Bradley, Jonathan Osorio, and Alro. And then the front 2, Terrence Boyd. Or 3-4-1-1. 3-4-1-1 is probably more like it. So, same back 3, same back 4. Move Osorio to over the middle 4 and then put Terrence Boyd up top. That sounds about right. Because Josie ain't healthy yet. He ain't healthy just yet, but I don't think we need Josie either. And people are like, but dude, what about not any replacements? Look at this. Mavinga's healthy. He's still a great center back. We'll be fine. Drew Moore, still great. Laurent Simon, I think with those guys, he's great. Middle, Osorio's still here. 17 goals and 8 assists. Terrence Boyd wants to make an impact. And remember, Josie wasn't all that good in Europe before he came here too. Just like Terrence Boyd. And actually, Terrence Boyd was better in Europe than Josie was before he came here. So, I'll give Terrence Boyd his time. And he wants to make an impact. And I think he will. Basically, this team is still good. Y'all just sleep. Y'all just sleep. And then when we put Pozzello into this team, whoo boy. Whoo boy. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you, we're going to win this game. We're going to win this tie. I'll talk about a week later for the home leg. But we're going to win this tie. We're going to win this game. And I feel like we're going to get to the CONCACAF final again. Trust me. I feel it. So, if you like this video, like it, subscribe, share it. If you don't agree or disagree, say something in the comments below. I'm here a lot. Trust me, I'll get back to you. It doesn't matter if it's YouTube comments or Reddit or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat, whatever. I'll respond. Yeah. So I'm Ryan. I'll be back again soon with a review of this game and the Toronto Maple Leafs Blues game. In 2 days. But you know, whatever. I'll be back again soon, you know already. I'm out. Peace.